Are you seeking a better way to accelerate your sales, to scale your business, to live a life with no limits? Accelerate Sales Podcast features global experts who have cracked the code to recurring revenues with proven sales systems and get you on the fast track to scaling. Now let's accelerate your sales with today's episode.
Hello to the Accelerate Sales Podcast, episode number 362. Today's topic is, what are you going to say no to in 2022? You will learn what I said yes to in 2021 and how I'm going to say no to it in 2022. A happy new year to all of you. I hope you had a wonderful break. I know for us, we had my daughter Tamsin who had COVID, and most of her friends have had it. So it's been a pretty low-key break, I've got to say. Most of us, was sort of in quarantine. But I hope you've had a wonderful break and Omicron hasn't really entered your household. If it's the first time, welcome. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. If you're a regular, thanks for your support. Always appreciate those reviews, whether it be iTunes or now I think Spotify, you can actually leave one as well. Please check out past shows on your favorite platform. Just search Accelerate Sales and don't forget to check out those wonderful interview shows. So I'm recording this on my first day back to work in 2022, and I reflected over the break on what I did in 2021 and what I should have said no to. And the way that I did that is just go through my Google Calendar, and I went through every week, looked at every day and who I met with, what I did. And to be honest, it was a little confronting, and that's why I'm so motivated to say no to things, but most importantly, share this with you today. I will list the key points and how I will plan to say no to them in 2022. And if you're like me, you're never short of ideas, right? We run our own businesses. I left corporate because I was always frustrated by my ideas not being implemented. But what I've got now is I've developed an app in Airtable. And if you want to see it, just reach out to me. And what I do is I review it at the end of the week with all my ideas in it. And the other thing I do is nothing can get on the rolling plan. I do a 90-day rolling plan with my team, and nothing can get on it unless I remove something. So that certainly helped me not to be overwhelmed and stay focused. So I'll go through a couple of key things that I really should have said no to in 21 that I will change in 22. So the first one is taking on smaller clients. I took on some solo people that they run their own business. They don't have a team, thinking that I could really help them. But to be honest, I couldn't. They didn't have both the team, but they also didn't have the dollar investment to make the changes that they really aspired to do. So in 2022, I'm going to have a strict criteria. I'm going to put it in my sales CRM. I'm going to really stick to that. The next one is chats. I just had too many chats in 2021. I went back and had a look at my calendar, like I said to you, and it was just full of conversations that were nice to have, but they never really went anywhere. And I think that's one of the downsides of LinkedIn outreach, right? You can do a lot of outreach and you can have a lot of conversations, but it just doesn't go anywhere. So what I'm going to do this year, well, I'm going to have an application process for people that want to work with me, and I'm also going to have a much stricter qualification process for calls, and that'll be across clients, experts, and partners. So speaking of experts, that's the next one. And I hired experts in 2021, and I thought that I really needed them, but in hindsight, I didn't achieve the desired outcome. And to be honest, I spent some money where I shouldn't. So this year I'm going to be very selective on who I work with. Actually, I'm only going to work with one person at this stage, and that will be it. And I will go deep on that and stick with it rather than constantly changing experts throughout the year. The next is podcast guesting. I went on many podcasts, and it's great. And some people say that all publicity is good publicity. But what I've realized is there were some that were just not the right fit for me. And, you know it. It's like an interview where you get halfway through and you think this is just not right. So now we're going to have a strict criteria, and my team's going to actually say yes or no. So I'm taken out of the process, set up the criteria, but then let them handle it. The next is technology. Look, I'm addicted to testing new technology. I do that for my members and I do it for my own business. But I got really trapped in AppSumo this year, or last year being 2021, and just bought too many things that I'm never going to use. So what I'm going to do in 2022 is say no to all new purchases of software. Once again, it can only be a replacement, can't be an incremental. But what I will do is have my team research it for everyone else. So that part of it won't stop, but I just will stop buying so much. So before I continue on some other ways, I would like to talk about BombBomb. So yes, it is a piece of technology, but I'm going to stick with it. Are you looking to leverage your best asset? What is that? It's you. That's right, you, in your sales process. BombBomb is a video communication platform allowing you to evaluate human-centered selling. And there's also a free trial that you can get. Just go to bombbomb.com and you can sign up for 14 days on the free trial. But it's something that I've used, and it's something that has really helped me in 21 that I'll continue in 22. Okay, so far we've gone through taking on smaller clients, having too many chats, experts I didn't really need, jumping on podcasts that I shouldn't, and just having a myriad of technology. So the next one is referral partners. So, you have a conversation with a referral partner and, it's a great conversation. But what I've realized that if it's not in their top 3, so if they're looking for a specific budget or what they want to do in revenue for the year, and if you can't significantly contribute to that, I just don't think it's worth having those conversations. So once again, I'm going to make sure that if I can't contribute incrementally to their revenue in a material way, I'm just going to say no to those referral partner conversations. SEO. So I spent quite a lot of time on content in 2021 and it didn't really move the needle. So I'm going to work with someone new. He's Gert Malik. And if you go to episode 329 of the Accelerate Sales podcast, you'll hear a great interview with him. And what we're going to really focus on is one key thing. So that's going to be on getting our blog right from our podcast. So at the moment, it's basically just a transcription virtually, and it's not built for SEO. So we're just going to fix that, and that's all we're going to do. And then we're going to stop there, not create new content. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what are you going to stop and what are you going to say no to in 2022? So 3 key actions from today. One is reflect on 2021. So go through your diary and have a look where you spend all your time and is it the best place? The second is make a list, right, on what are the things you're going to say no to. Some of those might be what I've included in mine today, or you'll create your own. And the other one is get your team to help you, get them to hold you accountable. You can get all the links in the show notes at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast. This is episode 362, or on the app that you're listening to now. I recommend Pocket Cast app. It's not because I'm sponsored by them. It's just a fantastic app. Please follow me on LinkedIn, as I do put really valuable content on there 3 times a week. If you know someone interested in staying focused and learning how to say no in 2022, please share this with them. And finally, please take action to live a life with no limits.
I'm fired up after today's episode. What about you? But hey, before you go, learning is just one piece of the puzzle. Now it's time to put today's strategy into action. Head over now to today's show page at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast and share how you'll put it into action. Be sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, rate, and review the show. Tell me what your favorite episode is. And don't wait 1 minute more to gain access to your pulse check at paulhigginsmentoring.com. This could be the difference between struggling to get more leads and making this next quarter your best one yet.